Good morning, everyone. Hi, I'm Randy Strong, and I'm the founder of SteadyMate. Now, you may be thinking that's a dating site and all that stuff, but no, it's not. This is something far better for everyone who's ever wanted to shoot professional video with their iPhone 6. This is it. I thought about this. I've gone out in the field. I've used my bicycle as a dolly mount, and I've created lots of video with the iPhone. I've filled up 64 gigabytes a day of video on my iPhone 6. I've captured footage from exotic places like jungles and beaches and beach resorts and every place that tourists would be going on a continuous basis, and I've created music videos from that footage and cataloged it and put it into Final Cut Pro and edited the footage and made it into a final assembled video for distribution using the Facebook export, YouTube export out of Final Cut Pro. I'd been in the video business for a long time. I got involved with Digital FX back in the early 90s, and I was just a kid at the time, maybe 28, and I went up on stage and I was able to get funded by this company, Digital FX, to fly around the United States and put on presentations on how nonlinear video editing would change the whole video editing business at the time, which was primarily a tape-based business. Everybody was rolling tape from one end of a tape to the other end of the tape, and then editing that footage into final assembled edits by rolling tape. And it was a very cumbersome, labor-intensive process that took a lot of extra time, and we were introducing a system on the Macintosh computer which was a offline online video editing solution. Now, I look back on that and I just laugh at how far the industry has come since then, and here we are in the year 2016, and we have one of the greatest cameras available for distribution right on your iPhone 6. And the only problem is it's very difficult to handle. I mean, the edges are really tricky, and it makes it very difficult to keep it steady. I'm actually holding on to my iPhone 6 right now while I'm recording this, and it's not a pleasant task to be holding on to it and getting the different angles. So I realized right away that there was an opportunity here, and so I went out and I started exploring with various gripping technologies that I could put onto the iPhone to make it easier to handle as a camera unit, and be able to balance it and be able to create a steady feature that would produce quality on par with bigger cameras that had the weight distribution to create steady shots. So this just hit me, and it was an epiphany that went off in my head, and I started assembling and putting together the entire marketing piece on this, and I threw it all together and created a prototype for the unit, and then I'm here right now to tell you that this is going to be the best possible scenario as an accessory unit sales division for Apple Computer that you can possibly think of. This could be a whole area inside of every Apple store designed for professional video with your iPhone 6. All the camera accessories, the lens accessories, the the mounting, the rigging systems, and then have seminars and workshops and put on an incredible display of information-based delivery out of the Apple stores across the United States. And I would love the opportunity to have Tim Cook or someone inside of Apple give me a call back and let me put together the entire plan for you, and I could drive an extra $20 billion worth of sales for Apple Computer next year alone with this huge variation from the way that the Apple stores are being run today. And I know that this sounds like a far-reaching number, 20 billion, but when you consider the number of iPhones that have been sold in the last couple years and the amount of accessory revenue that could be generated as a result of just focusing in on how to take better video, use it, edit it with your Mac Pro or your MacBook Pro, and be able to create really compelling seminars that show people how they can distribute right out of Final Cut Pro onto YouTube, onto Facebook, or how to even use iMovie. A lot of people don't even know how to use iMovie properly, and it could be a whole progression from iMovie, taking the film and creating your film in iMovie for the first time, and then exporting that into
push your way in out of here. From up on high, I can see where I lie. Some kind of fantasy pushed right out of body. I went so far inside, I think
to the associates on the floor. I've purchased a Mac Pro in the meantime. If you want to see my setup here, I'm going to turn around. I've got a 40-inch 4K monitor behind me. I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera around here. Let's see, let's go ahead and turn that around there. And then you can see behind here I've got a Mac Pro, and it's hooked up to external hard drives, and I've got the HDMI cable going into the 4K monitor. I've been exploring different monitor configurations. I didn't purchase the Apple monitor because of one very simple thing. I didn't have the money to invest in a Apple product when I could get a much bigger product that's actually lasted me almost 2 years for almost $400. And I'm sure that's a dilemma that we can address as well, and trying to come up with better monitor-based solutions for editors, editor workstations, and all the things that go into making a professional studio, and even having a design team set up around it. This is a big business that I'm talking about Apple taking over, and then getting all the software vendors to come in with their software support. Adobe and then Avid and anybody else that's out there with Mac-based editing solutions, as well as 3D design solutions, and making this into the cinema center for all the Apple stores. This is where movies are made. This is where people learn how to become film editors. This is where people come to enjoy the benefits of the products they're owning for the sole purpose of creating better content. And I think that's a very noble and absolutely positively beautiful pursuit, because we can bring in photographers from all over the world that can talk about how to take better pictures with your iPhone. We can develop a whole grouping of field shows that we can do at various events across the country. Set up booths, go out in public, and show people all this stuff in public at public festivals and places where people are in mass, and then set up photography walking tours across the United States, and show people what they can do with their iPhone 6 on a walking tour with some of the best experts in the country showcasing it. And I can put all that stuff together and drive the whole thing for you, and I just need to have your call back at 941-661-6551. That's my number, Tim Cook, and I hope that you watch this. Thank you.